time, weather, and
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to my channel today. I really appreciate you being here. More than you realize, actually. So, thank you. The timing of silver, buying mining stocks. I've often read articles or watched videos of people saying they will purchase more silver when the price drops to a certain level they have in their head. Most discussions have already been about not wanting to get into mining stocks because the market is so filled with bears right now. Well, this morning, Old Fat Marine, bought even more mining stocks, and they've already lost value. In fact, the overall silver and mining stock storing strategy has been a total bust so far for me. It seems that everything Old Fat Marine financially touches just goes to shit. Between the silver purchases and the mining stock purchases, everything so far has been a very big net loss. At this point in time, the average investor would say, I'm a fool to keep throwing money into the ring. But yet I could not be happier. Weirdly enough, losing money hand over fist has actually created more stored wealth than I have ever had in my life. Since I started paying attention to what is really happening to the banking system, I have no doubt about what is coming, and this period of financial loss is actually an awesome opportunity to prepare. I have been so blessed to be able to store some cash before, but storing silver is so much more fulfilling than storing some currency or cash. Digital or paper currency is not nearly as addicting to holding silver, being my own banker. I do not have to fill a form out to access my money. I do not have to be a certain age to cash out a profit. The freedom of owning silver is rooted in 6,000 years of history. The Fed and the dollar have a little bit over 100 years of history. Looking at the history of a fiat currency, like the dollar, the stable and profitable history of silver changes the conversation rather quickly. The real question Old Fat Marine has understood for about a year now is that the true power of the US dollar, silver, and gold are all about to collide. I feel as if it is not a matter of if, it is just a matter of when. There is no chasing of this price or that price because in the long run, it won't matter. For Old Fat Marine, dollar cost averaging is everything. When the silver market pricing manipulation is unleashed, a banking collapse? The need to hold silver will once again hit the mainstream news. The real question is, are you willing to understand and accept the fundamentals of silver and the dollar and the mess that the world is going on right now, geopolitically, for everyone? The real question that should be asked is the amount of profit that will come from silver in the future. Beyond being profitable, it may be life-changing for the better. The real question is if a person can see the future trend by merely looking at history. Old Fat Marine has never been good at timing the top or the bottom of any market. Not even going to try this time. The hour is not known, nor is the day, but the day of reckoning is coming. Whenever that happens, we will still need to eat. We will still need to have a place to rest, and storing silver and picking mining stocks is very similar to planting seeds. Old Fat Marine feels so sure of what is coming, it has even caused me to lose weight through healthier eating. I just feel as if losing 100 pounds will be a hell of a lot better for me if times get really tough. And the upcoming events have been pretty much consuming to some degree. The carnage that is coming soon will not go well for those that dismiss the prospect of a major banking collapse. When that day comes, Old Fat Marine will remember the paper losses? No. Right now, Old Fat Marine is content being the village idiot because one day he will use the profits to live a life like never before. This is not a feeling of arrogance in any way, and no, this is not being selfish. I plan on sharing my wealth with everyone as much as everyone has shared it with me, which has never happened. Old Fat Marine is more than content to see the price of silver plummet and could care less how many paper dollars have vanished from his account. This is because the day will come, and if I'm not around for it, I will be glad I left silver for my kids. Total belief in what is coming is not being a fool. Total belief is from having been a student of history all of my life. To Old Fat Marine, studying history is a passion that has been lifelong. I feel the dollar collapsing is inevitable, and whatever is going on when that day arrives, I will still need to eat. I will not have to turn to the government to survive, even if they could really help me survive. How much I'd lose now is irrelevant because the future is closer than most people realize, and the future will be nothing more than a reflection of the past. Those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. If you disagree with the fundamentals of silver and gold, you do not know the history of them, and you will eventually end up personally flailing in whatever economy survives. Old Fat Marine does not have any fear of missing out at all. Right now, I have been taking the available time to position myself fundamentally for the reset. The more the price of silver goes down, the more silver that can be accumulated. Collecting the shiny may be an addiction of sorts, but never before has Old Fat Marine been so in charge of his finances. Despite losing investment money month after month, it's perfectly acceptable as I do not invest the rent money. Other than the bills, every dollar is being doubled down on silver and mining stocks. The fundamentals are in every aspect of silver history, and when the stock market eventually tanks, the precious metals market will erupt like never before in human history. Essentially, over 100 years of price controls will be gone. I have no fear of missing out because it has not happened yet, and when it does, it will be too late to shift your stuff around. The time is now. The commodity is silver, and if you do not see this simple truth, you will more than likely have no clue what the silver to gold ratio is all about. I would suggest you start your historical investigation of silver with the silver to gold ratio, and then explore the U.S. Constitution Coinage Act of 1792. Yeah, it's in the Constitution. Knowledge is power. History is there. The U.S. dollar is nothing special in any other way than the magnitude of the crash that is going to happen sooner or later. It will be spectacular, and it will not matter what you paid for the silver when it's hovering around below $20 an ounce as it is now. Your only regret when something triggers silver will be that you did not do more. Old Fat Marine will have no regrets in this area whatsoever. Dave Ramsey once said, if you live like no one else, later you can live like no one else. But he doesn't like silver or gold. Just remember that when you discuss your finances with professionals, they do not make any money selling you silver. This is why they do not want you to buy any. Old Fat Marine is essentially selling you nothing. So why not do some research and stop whining about losing money? You either believe the silver story or you do not. Choose and move forward and stop whining about how much money you lost, because if you understand the story, you know it's temporary. So what's your real question? When? It doesn't matter. It's coming. It's better to be prepared than to miss it. Semper Fi.
A date which will live in infamy.